Today we're going to be focusing on some of the unseen heroes in the global pandemic war. Yes, I do call it a war because there are people wearing uniforms every day, going into the hospitals, helping to fight this war. Some of these people will be featured in my episode coming next week, but this week I wanted to focus on some of the ones that doesn't wear uniform, but they are helping us fight this battle in their own special way. They are the teachers. Some of them have never used computer to teach before, but they are amazing teachers. But this global pandemic, like every one of us, have had to adapt in various ways. Some people have had to homeschool their children, and you go on internet and you see a lot of different funny pictures and videos of parents freaking out trying to homeschool their children. Well, why the parents might be doing this part-time, there are teachers who are doing this with so many students. Some of them have close to 30, 50, 2 to 3, 4, 5 different classes every day. And they have to figure out a way not just to keep their students focused, they also have to find a way to deal with their own personal, emotional challenges facing. While I can't speak for all the teachers or speak to all of their challenges, I do have one special teacher who have volunteered to share a story, not just with me but with you. And trust me, our story will not only change the way you see teachers, it will inspire you, it will make you emotional like I was, and it will give you an insight into some of these challenges teachers are facing right now, but most importantly, some of the ways that they are being sheroes and heroes of this COVID-19. Listen to Jessica from Queens, New York, as she shares a story and some of the ways she has kept her children inspired.
I am a 7th and 8th grade English teacher in Corona, Queens. I've been teaching for 4 years now, and I do not think that our city was ready at all for this pandemic. One of the biggest struggles that my students deal with is making sure that they have enough food and making sure that they have technology. A lot of students in my school are still waiting for devices, and those devices have slowly been arriving at students' houses. But at the same time, I do believe that academics are extremely important, even at this time, because eventually this will end and students will go back to a physical school building. But at the same time, my students need a lot of TLC, and they are not in ideal situations. They live in the heart of Corona, where this pandemic is really, really hitting them hard. And I don't want people to think that this is a vacation for teachers. Sure, it's nice to go to the bathroom whenever you want and to finish a cup of coffee, but this is not fun for me. I don't have children. I am married, but my husband goes out to work. He's also an essential worker. So most of the time I'm here alone, and it's very easy to get lost in your own head, question yourself, always wondering if you're not doing enough. And in the beginning, I really did struggle with setting up a routine for myself. I very early on set up a space where I could be and I could work and kind of feel like I'm in my classroom a little bit. But at the same time, there are mornings when I wake up and I check my email, I answer the students, and it's been 2 hours. And then after I send the last email, I kind of sit there and I'm like, all right, well, am I doing enough? What am I supposed to do now? And one of the biggest issues I had also was tension headaches from constantly sitting in front of the computer, the iPad, the phone. This feels like it's become just a body part at this point. And I had to tell myself that it's okay for me to take care of myself, because if I don't take care of myself, I can't take care of my kids. And if my kids don't have me to take care of them, a lot of them, they're going to feel alone. So I really needed to make sure that I started checking in on myself and saying, it's okay to not always be online.
One thing we can all agree on is that this global pandemic has changed our lives forever. I just wanted to know from a perspective of a teacher like Jessica, so I asked her, how has this global pandemic impacted you professionally, and how do you think this is going to impact the way you teach your students coming back into the classroom in September? While she can't speak for all teachers, hear what Jessica has to say.
In response to how I've changed professionally, I think that I've always had a great relationship with my students over the past 4 years, and I'm in no way tooting my own horn. I've always been able to connect with them and speak with them one-on-one, but I do feel that in September, or in June if we go back even earlier, I do feel that I will need to definitely slow down, especially with academics, and not put as much pressure on them to know things. I think that's one of the things that teachers struggle with sometimes, and I don't want to speak on behalf of all teachers, but it is hard sometimes when there's a concept that you're trying to teach them and they don't get it right away, and you're like, but it's so easy. But for them, it's not. And we have no idea what we're walking into in September. These kids are traumatized. We're traumatized. The students are suffering. And, you know, we are essential workers. We're just not seen. And that's something that I feel is very important. You know, we're in our homes and we're still teaching. You know, life doesn't stop. Teaching doesn't stop. You just don't see us outside of our homes because our classroom is here. So it's not ideal, but I know that it means that we're safe and that my kids are safe. And I just want what's best for them at the end of the day. That's really all I want.
Jessica's story is one of the stories that inspires you and reminds you that COVID-19 is strange to everyone. We are all trying to figure it out together. But people and essential workers and heroes like Jessica and many others are there to fight it with you. If you're feeling frustrated, you're feeling confused, you are not alone. We are all in this together. No one has the manual to dealing with this situation. We are all in the process of learning and adjusting and building and growing from this. So don't beat yourself up. We are going to be sharing more stories, including those of the doctors and nurses and some of the challenges they are fighting against, and they've been fighting against since the beginning of this pandemic. And I want you to know we are all in this together. And there, like Jessica's story reminds us, there is going to be light at the end of the tunnel. We are going to keep learning and we're going to keep growing. Till my next episode, don't forget, stay home, stay well, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.